Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to 8 Ball Sports, and this is going to be the post-game analysis for the Old Dominion upset over number 13 Virginia Tech. If you're wondering why I'm an Ohio State fan talking about a non-Ohio State game, if you're new to the channel, I make post-game analysis over the big games that happen in each week of college football because I love the sport. My favorite sport to watch is definitely college football. I keep up with as many games as I can. And I have to admit, this was not one I expected to be keeping up with as the day started. I expected Virginia Tech to be able to win this game pretty simply. But obviously, it's not what happened. Old Dominion came out, won 49-35 in an upset fashion. And it was an interesting game, to say that. At halftime, it was 14-14, so I know some Virginia Tech fans are going to say this loss is because they lost their quarterback, Josh Jackson. He got carted off the field. If you were unaware, but it wasn't like Virginia Tech was dominating this game with him in, and it wasn't like it was the offense's fault. 35 points by Virginia Tech's offense. You know, maybe you can say they should have had more points because they're playing Old Dominion, and Old Dominion is obviously not exactly a powerhouse team, but at the same time, 49 points allowed to an Old Dominion team is unacceptable to any team, especially to a team that as bad as Old Dominion. And that's not to say Old Dominion's bad, but you know, we don't consider them a powerhouse. Josh Jackson was 8 of 16, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns. He did throw an interception. And then Ryan Willis, who was a transfer from Kansas, who's their backup, 7 for 13, 104 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. So I mean, their quarterback play was solid, but 50% completion percentage is not great. You know, Josh Jackson was right at 50%, and Ryan Willis was a one pass higher than 50%. So, I apologize. I tried to fix the lighting. Now I'm getting close to the camera here. And now I feel like maybe it's just a little bit too bright. Hopefully that made it a little bit better. Running for Virginia Tech, Stephen Peoples, 20 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. And receiving, Damon Hazelton Jr., I believe is how you pronounce it. Can't quite read my handwriting. 5 catches, 154 yards, and a touchdown. So a pretty solid offensive day for Virginia Tech. You know, I don't think you can hate on their offense. I think you look at it and you say 35 points, solid, especially considering they lost their quarterback. But the loss is on their defense. I already said that, but, you know, yeah. Blake LaRussa, a walk-on quarterback. He was the backup. Old Dominion's starting quarterback did not play. 30 for 49, 494 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. That is insane numbers for any quarterback. That's what you expect to see from Tua, from maybe like Kyler Murray, Dwayne Haskins, but from Old Dominion's backup quarterback at that, Blake LaRussa, 494 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then they also ran the ball fine. Jeremy Cox, 20 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. If you actually did notice, him and Peoples had the exact same numbers. Both had 20 carries, both had 130 yards, both had 2 touchdowns. And then receiving Travis Fulgham, sorry, not quite sure how to pronounce that. 9 catches, 188 yards, and a score. And then Jonathan Duhart, 9 catches, 142 yards, and 3 of those 4 passing touchdowns from Blake LaRussa. So, in most of my post-game analysis videos, I like to do, what does this mean for both teams? Now, obviously, most of the time, the analysis videos I do are over 2 big teams that are fighting to be in playoff contention. For example, last week was the LSU-Auburn game, which I did one over, so if you didn't watch that, go check that out. But at the end of the video, I said, you know, if you're an Auburn fan, you know, this is what you have to do to make it back to the playoffs. This is what this loss means for you, and if you're an LSU fan, this is what this win means, and this is what you need to do this is what your team needs to do if they want to make the playoffs. Now, this one's a little different because I don't think any of us really expected either of these teams to make the playoffs. I think there was a slim chance for Virginia Tech, and now the way I look at it, the only ACC team to have really a chance of making it is Clemson. Florida State is god-awful. Miami, I don't know. They kind of got murdered by LSU to start off the year. but now we're kind of seeing LSU's a pretty good football team. I still don't think they're great, though. Louisville lost to Virginia today. I think Syracuse is one of the top teams in the ACC, and that's saying something. And no offense to Syracuse or any of their fans, but they aren't that good. So other things I have written down here, and this is I think kind of what we all thought. Virginia Tech's ranked number 13 because they beat a Florida State team week 1, and they manhandled a Florida State team. But now, as we've gone through the first couple weeks of the season, we see that Florida State is kind of garbage. They're kind of bad. And by kind of, I mean they're terrible. They got murdered by Syracuse last week. Also made a video over that one, so if you want to go check that one out. They did win today over, I think, like Northern Illinois, but does that really mean anything? So I think after Virginia Tech kind of dominated Florida State, we all said, oh, wow, this Virginia Tech team's for real. Their defense, led by Bud Foster, was great against a Florida State offense that we all expected to be one of the top ones in the country, or at least the ACC. Sorry, someone was making a noise back there. But now we're kind of seeing how bad Florida State is, so we don't quite know how good this Virginia Tech team really is, and that kind of showed today in their loss to Old Dominion. I don't see Virginia Tech, if they're going to stay in the top 25, I think it's going to be as like a 23, 24, maybe 25, obviously. I honestly could see them dropping 12, 13 spots and getting knocked out of the top 25 list, because you lose by 14 to Old Dominion. You lost your quarterback for who knows how long. He obviously got stretchered off. And your defense, which is supposed to be one of the best defensive coordinators, something else I wrote down, Bud Foster, supposed to be one of the best defensive coordinators in all of college football. And his defense just gave up 49 points to an Old Dominion team, almost 500 passing yards to a backup quarterback, and a backup quarterback for, once again, an Old Dominion team that I don't think anyone thinks Old Dominion is going to be in the playoffs. So what does this mean for both teams? Virginia Tech, I mean, if you can somehow use this game as a turnaround, win out, maybe there's a chance to make the playoffs as an 11-1 team. And for Old Dominion, this is a huge step in making a bowl game. I actually don't know their record right off my head, but this is a big win. It's one of those games on your schedule where you say, well, most likely they said it's going to be a loss, but they say if you can win this game and you win the games you're supposed to, you can definitely win 6-7 games, make a bowl game, which for an Old Dominion team is the first step in getting up there to being a good, great football team, whatever you want to say. That's about all I have for this post-game analysis. So if you enjoyed the video, please hit that thumbs up button. It really would mean a lot. And if you're a Virginia Tech fan, if you're an Old Dominion fan, let me know in the comment section down below what your thoughts on this game were. If you're just a casual college football fan like me, leave your comments in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to reply, whatever you would like me to do, respond to them in any way I can. And if you enjoy talking about college football, I want to make this kind of a show where we can have debates in the comment section below. I'm not sure why I said debates in the comment section, where we can really interact with each other, subscribers and me as well. So if you're into, college football and that type of thing, then subscribe to the channel for more post-game analysis videos and such. So, again, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. I'll see you guys later.